Thank you very much all for watching this review, and as always, I'm Mr. Taurus11. See ya. Now, you're going on a journey through memory. All you have to do is watch my review.
Nothing's gonna hurt you, baby. As long as you're with me, you'll be just fine.
Hello, my fellow YouTubers and subscribers, and welcome to my latest movie review, where today I review Reminiscence, directed by Lisa Joy and starring Hugh Jackman, Rebecca Ferguson, and Thandie Newton. So, Reminiscence, this is a new, I guess you could call it a science fiction thriller. It's, well, sort of a post-apocalyptic thriller, but it's also a drama, and it's also a love story as well. It's a combination of a lot of things, but I believe it is the director's directorial debut, if I'm not mistaken. Well, I believe actually this is the first movie she's directed, but she did direct an episode of Westworld, I believe. So Reminiscence, this is a new release that's come out, and I was very excited to go and see this by the trailers, so let's get into it. And there will be no spoilers, don't worry, I won't give anything away, but yeah. Okay, so the plot of this movie is as follows. Nick Bannister, a private investigator of the mind, navigates the alluring world of the past when his life is changed by a new client named May. A simple case becomes an obsession after she disappears, and he fights to learn the truth about her. So, Reminiscence. This was an interesting movie. I wasn't quite sure what to expect from it, but the concept of it looked kind of interesting, and I liked the world that was visually put on screen, and the trailers made it look kind of interesting. And my overall opinion of this movie is that I think this is a very good movie. I was honestly very impressed. It's getting a very hot and cold reception. I think the reviews on this movie are very mixed, but I really enjoyed this movie. I'm not going to say it's perfect, but it was certainly a very entertaining movie for me, and I was engaged, I was intrigued with the mystery, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's a little under 2 hours long, so it's not too long, and it moves at a very good pace. And I think what works about it is the story and the world that these characters live in. Basically, the world in which these characters live in is it's basically flooded. It's the world that we know today in America, but it's flooded. So they kind of live on the top of America, and they have to travel around in boats most of the time. Basically, Hugh Jackman's character Nick and his friend Watts, they run a business which uses a machine called the Reminiscence, where they allow people to go and relive their memories, and that's basically how people decide to live, through nostalgia. And I really liked the characters. I thought they were really interesting. Like Nick Bannister, he's an interesting guy, played by Hugh Jackman, who gives a very good performance. I liked the character and his determination to discover the truth. He becomes obsessed with this woman named May, and he falls in love with her. And after a while, she just disappears, and the mystery as to why she disappeared, and actually the true intentions of her character, are what keep the movie really intriguing and interesting. She's this very kind of, she's this kind of enigma. She's this really kind of mysterious woman, and I like that. She is played by Rebecca Ferguson, who's just stunningly beautiful, but she has great chemistry with Jackman, and obviously the two of them worked together previously in The Greatest Showman, and I really bought the chemistry. Actually, I thought they had a decent chemistry, like they did in The Greatest Showman. And I was worried that this movie was going to be in the danger of being predictable, but actually it wasn't. It surprised me. The ending revelations, they made sense. It was very well done. I think that the script is strong here. It's very well written, and I bought the intentions of May as a character. I won't actually reveal what happened. It's not what you would think, and it's not predictable, you know, which I really appreciate. Of Watts, played by Thandie Newton, is also very interesting, and Thandie Newton is a good actress, and you know, her character has a bit of a haunted past as well. You know, she has a daughter who she doesn't see, and she wants to fill this kind of empty void in her life, and she's kind of had the business and Nick as a bit of a security net. I like the fact that the two of them are not lovers, they're just friends, you know, and the fact that, you know, she's not in love with the guy, but they are very close friends, and they are business partners. That's nice, you know, it's a nice dynamic, and it's a different one to what he has with May. As well written as the script is, though, I do have to say the The fact that there's no clear antagonist is a problem. I think that the movie just has this endless trail of villains. It just seems to be unclear who the main villain really is. I mean, they even, potentially question May as a villain at one point. I just don't know who's the top dog. And then the final revelation behind one of the very minor characters was a surprise to me. I was like, oh, so it was that guy? That guy was the one who hired this person to do this? And it's like, what? That part was a little bit underwhelming, I must say. The very last scene when Nick confronts this guy and his mother, I won't say the names of the characters, but that was a very big surprise to me, and I think the movie kind of got itself a bit muddled with the villains. At one point we think, this guy called Joey is the villain, then we think this guy called Cyrus Booth, who's like this dirty cop, and then this other guy who's the son of this guy called Walter. It's like there are too many names of villains going around. I don't understand what the hell is going on. It's the only part of the story that is genuinely unclear. However, the visuals of this movie are fantastic, and I think the world building is really cool, and I like the sort of the setting of the world, the fact that the whole world is more or less flooded, and there isn't much left, and the world is very war-torn. It kind of feels very sort of post-apocalyptic, and but it's a very original world, and I like that. I think it's a very well realized world. But what surprised me about the movie was how much focus it was on the drama and the story and the romance, and not so much the world that they were living in. The story wasn't reflective of what had happened before to lead up to this point. The point is, they're in this world, they're in this situation, and this is the story. And I actually like that, and I like that because it surprised me. I didn't expect it to do that. I thought it was going to be a story about how the world became that way, and through memories we would find out what happened. But we don't actually find out too much about what happened in terms of that. They do explain it, but only through narration. And I have to say, the action sequences in this film are very entertaining. There's a big bar gunfight which I really enjoyed. That was fun, and there was also a great fight scene which goes on for quite a long time between Nick and Cyrus Booth. Cyrus Booth is one of the more interesting characters. He's this dirty sort of cop. He doesn't feel like a cop, he feels more like a gangster, but he gets some facial damage done to him, and I think the makeup looks really interesting on him, and he proves to be quite a pivotal role in the film. I think it's fairly well directed as well. For a first directorial debut, I think it's very well shot. The cinematography looks good, and like I said, the action works, and I think it moves at a very consistent pace. Like I said, my only real criticism would have to probably be the fact that it gets muddled with the villains, like with the sort of endless trail of villains and who's who. There are a lot of elements to the plot which at times probably feel a little bit overcomplicated, so maybe they could have simplified the sort of the villains, like who's the top dog in this in this story. Like, at times it was a bit unclear who, how important each villain was to the story. But overall, this is a really entertaining film, and I would definitely recommend you going to see it. It's a very interesting film, and I think the cast do a really good job. And wow, I mean, is there nothing Hugh Jackman can't do? He's proved that he's not just a one-trick pony with Wolverine in the X-Men films. He's proved that he can play other roles, and he does a great job. And it's nice to hear his American accent again as well. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I will give Reminiscence, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
Nothing's gonna hurt you, baby. As long as you're with me, you'll be just fine.
And also, I like the music as well. The music is pretty cool. So anyway, that's my review of Reminiscence. Thank you very much all for watching this review. What do you think of this movie? Please comment down below. Let me know. And please hit that subscribe button for more reviews to come. So until next time, I'm Mr. TARDIS11. Thank you for watching. See ya. Bye for now.